Good evening, salutations. Welcome to the stream. It's Will. It is Thursday, which means it's reset time. Is this a lower turret? Am I in the lower part of the ship? I want to be in the upper part. I don't want to be in the lower part. I hate the lower part. So we are doing space PvP or space duties tonight. We're going to be flying around and killing killing rebels and having conversations. I'm going to hop into the voice chat with the guild right now. So the next voices you hear is the 7 guys. So, well, peeps. I shouldn't say guys. I realize that's a thing. So I try.
The rebel fighters.
And you're all on the air. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh dear, that just happened. Who let Inkar into the guild?
Hey, you invited me.
That's true, I did.
You kept saying, come on over to 7.
Because we are more fun and we have cookies.
Yes. Got all the cookies.
Exactly. Why did I fix that Discord streaming thing?
Well, yes, hello in the background there.
Yes, hi. That's a new dirty rebel. No, I'm just kidding.
Not if his dad has anything to say about it.
That's awesome, though. Oh, here we go.
The game from behind. I can't shoot the lowest. Yeah, that's better. Now I can shoot the lowest one.
Sorry, getting my.
No.
We're in a position.
It's all good. It's all good.
Are you sorry?
Don't be sorry.
Yes, 58 GCW. That works.
I just get 10 GCW on something. That was weird.
On what tune?
Dorita.
Is she not an ace?
Yes.
Then it may have been from one of the tier 1 factionals around it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm seeing 22, 10, 10, so I'll take it.
That explains a lot. My joystick was still under my desk and moving around. So I was like, why can't I hit anything?
So is Dorita not getting 58 on these tier 5s?
She's getting 56 just because she's not a citizen.
She's not a resident.
Botswana.
Yeah.
So still 56 plus any of the little stragglers. That's pretty good.
It makes me wonder. I guess not. I was going to say, does it make sense to keep someone not an ace so they get credit for more than just these 5s? But that's incidental. You're not going to be going through swarms of tier 1s just for the sake of that one non-ace, I guess.
No, but still, I mean, it's an extra little bonus. I don't plan on grinding her up to ace, so she'll always be a novice.
You can take tier 1 and 2 rebel missions. So that's like, if you have a bunch of non-aces in the boat, they're all going to get maybe 20 GCW. You'd have to ask yourself, if you do the math on it, if you whip through a bunch of tier 2s more quickly than tier 5s, would that bring you more? But
we got a rebel X-wing above and behind us. Oh, never mind, I got it.
There's no proof of that. Yeah, I'm just.
And my viewers, man, you guys just missed it. I didn't stream it, but we had a hell of a great start to PvP. Well, we had a really bad start to PvP, but then recovered with our flashpoint there at the end. So
I was going to say hell is the appropriate word.
Yeah, that was really.
So next week, next reset, I'm wondering, should we just forget about Restus and just head to Bespin and make them come to us?
I think it's going to be whatever everybody's up to. I mean, did we decide where to go? I mean, again, I don't do the 3 o'clock because I'm usually working, so. I mean, do we usually decide, or is it we just get there and Hood is already there and they're going to town?
Well, the Imperials followed the Rebels. Rebels had been at Bespin, Restus, well before we got there. But if all the Imperials just decide forget it, they went somewhere else, and the Rebels would have to decide if they wanted to sit there and get nothing or follow us.
What we should do is get some people in Restus, like, at 2 o'clock and try to get that upper room. Now they're just going to come in and steal it. Never mind. Because that was kind of annoying. I always thought there was a second way up to that upper room, too, back in the day. But I could be misremembering it. That's how it was on live, right? It's exactly the same way it was on live.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Mac, maybe Friday for tomorrow night, do you want to fly the fighter and I can drive the bus? Would
I'm
that
not
be
sure
better for you?
We
We're
haven't
not doing
decided what
convoys
to do.
tomorrow? Oh. Well, that would suck. I like convoys. Well, we'll find something to do.
We'll do something. Just not sure yet.
Oh, yeah. Is Obi not getting enough back from everybody, or
Enough what?
like convoy plans and interfaces, etc.?
I think we're just going to shake things up. I think convoys were a little slower than we hoped for last time.
Okay.
And we
Well,
may
I
wanna
think
take
that
some-
was because we had, me trying to fly fighter, and we were unorganized. But whatever you guys think is fine.
time to assess everyone's build and. What's that? My work computer's decided to disconnect on me. 1 sec.
Uh-oh.
We'll run do that.
It's not Friday at 3, right? They don't have a meeting with you on the calendar for the end of today? No. Hey, Mac, can you hop into the Zoom call and bring everything into your desk with you?
Just bring the whole family.
Yeah, beware the Friday 3 o'clock non-payday call. That's almost always bad. Listen, we're in the week between your payday, so it's the end of the pay period, and we'd like to have a meeting with you at 3 o'clock. Don't worry, the HR rep's also going to be in the meeting. Nothing to worry about. You're fine. You're fine. That was the hardest. I used to hate that part of my job. Like, you'd have to watch when I was doing sysadmin work, and you'd have to watch like HR, and he's like, okay, we're letting this person go today. When you see me pull them into the office, please be at your desk and disable their account so they can't log back in. Then go and log them out of their computer at their desk. I'm like, sure.
Ouch, that has to hurt.
It's the part of the job. So I didn't mind it too much. There was one time they were going to fire a friend of mine, and HR didn't want to tell me, but I got the heads up anyway. And I walked into HR and I said, look, I'm very good friends with Christine. I like Christine. We're good friends. But you know what? Like, I will slit my cousin. I'll slit family's throat, man. This is the job. Because we can't let somebody have access after we've let them go.
After you stuff them, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny about that.
It's really, and he apologized. It was one of the first times in my career where I was like, well, because I think every admin's done it once. Now, Mac, you've never done admin, right? You've been a DBA, or?
I've only done really product support for companies for their software.
Okay. Yeah,
I haven't done that.
One time I let a guy know he was getting canned. He was a very good friend of mine. You know, I got the email, hey, you know, we're going to let this guy go. I went to lunch with him already. And at lunch, I'm like, yo, Mike, yeah, you know that meeting you got at 3 o'clock? I got a meeting on my calendar, too. He's like, whoa, what, they're going to let me go? He's like, yeah, I think they're letting me go. So he's like, dude. And then, thanks for telling me. I'm like, dude, do not screw me. Do not screw me. You know, don't do anything crazy. It's like, no, I wouldn't. He did. He tried to install a couple of scripts. And I was like, I almost got fired. My boss was like, you get one. It's like, that was your mistake. And I never did it again. You know, IT always knows after, usually they're the second to know after HR. It's not a good part of the job.
Fired in my job so far. I said I haven't seen too many people get let go in my job so far.
It's not a cool part of the job. Like I've worked with guys who are younger and they're like, oh man, just, you know, when you gotta let somebody go, I bet you that's, I'm like, actually no, that's actually horrible. Like, you know somebody's gonna have a bad day. I'm like, yeah, it's not a good part of the job, but I'm professional enough to be like, nope, let's go.
I saw some folks get let go because they were stealing.
Oh, jeepers.
That was, and it was like, you know, I wasn't sad that they were let go. I was like, yes, good. We kind of suspected this for a while, finally.
Yeah, there was one dude once at a job I was working at who got let go because he was in the parking lot, passed out in his car with a haze of smoke. He got high at work before he went in for the morning, and then he way overbaked, and yeah, we had to let him go. I was like, good. Oh, by the way, this guy was in finance. That
Hopefully
was a
not
day.
payroll.
He was in finance. But yeah, we were like, okay. Yeah. I don't do that too much now, thank God. I mean, because I work primarily in onboarding new clients, so I'm not responsible for like our internal staff.
I always appreciate the fact that our clients are not, internal, like you just said. They're external clients. So I don't have, if there's any frustration or annoyance with some of these repeat offenders, at least I don't have to see it on my face. If they were internal people, I had to go physically visit their desk and deal with them. Oh my gosh, that would not be pleasant.
I miss that sometimes. I do miss like being a sysadmin but I love working remote. Like, I don't think I could be a sysadmin for a company and not be at their office. So nope, it's fine. I'm loving my gig. Best job I ever had. I said that to my boss today because I had my bi-weekly, update, and I was like, no, I best job I've ever had. Same, because every week we have the meeting. He does a temperature check. He calls it, 1 to 5. How you feeling about the gig? I'm like, I'm always a 5. I love my job. I love working from home. I like not leaving my house, ever.
Oh yeah.
As it is tomorrow, I got to go and get my car inspected, so I'm gonna have to leave the house. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm kind of cool because I got a guy, but, he won't pass it if it fails, but, if it's borderline, he gives you a benefit of the doubt. So, I told my boys that the other day. I'm like, listen, you need 3 things. You got to have a car guy, a computer guy, and an accounting guy. Like, you can get by with almost anything else. And it doesn't have to be a guy, but you need a guy that does cars. You need a guy that does computers. Oh, and plumber, so there were 4. I said, and a plumbing guy. Always have a plumbing guy. You don't want to deal with plumbing.
Oh, so you do your own electricals?
If it happens, I'll hire an electrician. It's so rare to have a guy, but I mean, think about it. How often do you need a car guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, always make sure you get a guy. And now, those of you out there, understand this. I'm old man gamer for a reason. When I say a guy, I don't mean a guy. It can be a girl, but you just, you call him a guy. I got a guy. I understand misogynistic it sounds, but I mean, back home in Rochester, I had a jewel guy. I miss having a jewel guy. Guy I knew who ran a jewelry store. Like, got great deals, and, he'd always steer me towards stuff. And
I might add a lawyer to that list.
oh, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a lawyer guy. Yeah. Although you feel kind of bad saying a lawyer guy.
Disabled X-Wing behind us.
Yeah, I see it.
Stop disabling. Kill them.
I don't have potential.
Sometimes you
XC.
just get in an unlucky hit, then it blows off the engines.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just kidding. Aw. Wow, why did I only get 48 GCW for that?
Uh-oh. Did you lose your buff?
How in the heck would I have... I just...
I can rebuff you if you need it. If you come up to the
Yeah, I'm
bridge.
gonna need it when we can stop. Yeah. That's weird. I had a longer buff than that. You had 4 hours.
Well, I've got pull all going. If you want to watch her, I can buff you up.
Alright.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess I could throw G into a... Where are you? Up in the bridge?
Yeah, I'm on the bridge. The con, as some people call it.
Yeah, do you know why it's called the con?
No.
Because it's the control room. Con.
Because Star Trek.
Oh.
I really just thought it was Star Trek. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am watching...
You have the con. You have the control.
Oh, I should be
Star
listening
Trek
to the other
Discovery's
guy,
started
too.
up, isn't it?
I should be listening to a Justin.
Another disabled. Who keeps disabling the X-Wings? Oh, that's an A-Wing.
I did
Get
that.
back here, you
Damn it. GM.
bastard! Oh, gee.
A-wing A-holes.
Okay, what tune did you need the buff on?
Old Man Gamer.
Okay, are you up here on the bridge?
Yeah, I'm right in front of you.
Okay, that's...
I just jumped.
I've been having this... Okay, yeah, I don't see you on my screens, but then I also didn't see any of my alts there. It's like... There's like... It's either server lag or something. Just the same problem we were having back at the guild hall. So, because it says that you're 11 meters away from me. So let's see if it worked.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, here comes the
Yeah, 'cause you were
experience gain.
18. Okay, but just see if
Yeah,
it
you
works.
got some
'cause you can see the
serious lag
window.
off your new. Isn't that a new box?
Yeah, but I think it's... I don't think it's computer lag. I think that it's... Whatever
Got it.
changes they've made. Yeah, there you go. 3.5 hours. That's good. Yeah, I
That'll
don't know.
be
It's
enough.
been weird. That's why I had to move to Rita, because she's on the laptop. And, like, people would just spawn in upstairs.
That's weird.
So, I don't know. Yeah. But even with this, like, all 3 of my tunes, I put them all up here in the same little alcove. And it took them, like, 5 minutes to appear on each other's instance, because they were somewhere else. They were stuck. It's like they're getting stuck on one of the little... like either on the floor or, you know, this is such a weirdly laid out ship, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the game isn't quite catching up with the other instances. So
Well, plus the elevator goes right into the room. You'd probably almost
Yeah,
be better
that's-
being downstairs, like in that front
yeah,
room.
or
inside.
well,
below
that's
the
what I like
bridge.
about the Imperial. Yeah, I like the Imperial gunship, right? Because it's a little bit more straightforward. I don't have as many room.
I offered to fly an imp gunship today. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to fly it though. I was like, I worked hard to get that damn thing.
I gotta say, I enjoyed when I was the pilot last week.
I like piloting. I do. There's a, you know what, especially the gunboat piloting, because there's still like you're still kind of able to shoot.
Yeah, that's the only thing I probably have to change on mine, because I do have the guns on mine, but I'm wondering if they'd be better served to have more powerful weapons on the turrets and just have countermeasures.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing like one missile and one gun, as opposed to the countermeasures. I don't know. Maybe countermeasures would be better. Got it. Woohoo! 58 points. Yay! I don't, and it's weird. I got to be honest with you. Like, I may not be able to do the charity stream because, I'm trying to like get other people involved and not compete with them. It's like, it's almost like this game is designed for us to compete against each other as opposed to just the rebels. Like, we could do so much. What's that?
I think the leaderboard makes it that way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I really kind of wish. Like, imagine how much more good we could do with Umbra if we, could work together.
That's what we were saying earlier is, I even said this on the Discord. If all these guilds that are presumably all doing what we're doing with these duty missions, would strategically do them in zones that would help push Imperial control away from the Red, like Corellia, that would be spectacular. Then it would be productive. Right now everyone's just dumping it in a castle for nothing.
Yeah, I think Castle's at what, like 98% Imperial right now.
There are all these zones, and we could be pushing them. Especially Corellia, which is, for whatever reason, the favorite of Coors right now.
Well, that's where
they have a city
based in Talus, right?
Yeah, they're based in Talus.
So maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah, see, Castle system, even since reset on Monday, was at 92%. Now it's at 95 Imperial. Everybody's.
Well, that just means that, that's some crazy. It's like, I kind of wish they would do away, when the Senate comes back, do away with the leaderboard. Just see how it goes. Just have rebels and imps, and unaffiliated, and you get bonuses for winning that. Imagine if all rebel guilds or all Imperial guilds got travel points, as opposed,
you kind of do now. You do with update 2. Everyone who's spec deep enough into page 1 gets a city transit point. That has nothing to do with the leaderboard.
Well, there you go.
And and on page 2, you've got PvP civic travel. So there's so many options now. I don't think it's really about the rewards anymore with that transit point. I think it's just bragging rights.
Yeah. Which, if we took that away, then imps would work together, rebels would work together.
I do like having my War Planner title, though. That's the only thing.
Well, yeah, don't take any titles away or anything, but just say, hey, are the Rebs or the Imps winning the war? Not the guilds, not the... you can keep track of the players, maybe. Let the players, like the best players, that's cool. But then guilds are going to work together, Yeah,
because... Well, and that's what I liked. So, I forget what the server was. It might have been Empire in Flames. I was playing for a little bit. It's a pre-CU, but they had a lot of the things that were on NGE, like a lot of the game mechanics. So one thing that they did was Galactic Conquest, sort of like the original Battlefront game. So you would, the Imperials and Rebels would fight every 6 days on a certain planet that I think 2 people would pick. So basically, one person's designated for the Imperials, one for the Rebels. They say, hey, we're going to fight on Tanab, and you got to take over the city, and you got to kill the general, just kind of like a GCW city invasion. And if you do, you win the planet, and then that allows you to then like go to the next planet and conquest that. Like you can kind of work your way through the galaxy, and if you lose, like whoever wins gets to decide whether they're attacking or defending, right? So on that server, the rebels dominated. So the rebels owned every planet, so they basically just defended whatever they wanted to each week.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable because there was a level of like teamwork required. Everybody on the faction had to work together because I think it only was a 1 hour battle. So you had an hour to defeat like the enemy, and if you didn't do it, then you'd lose for the week, right? You basically, you're out of luck. So it was fun, but just like the server was pretty underpopulated, so it'd be maybe like 25 people playing 30 people, so 15v15, 20
That's
versus
cool.
20 maybe at the most. But it was fun. It'd be kind of cool if they did something like that here.
I
actually
hate
played on
seeing us. I hate seeing us all like work against each other. Like you're bringing up 25 guys in a gunboat, not to get GCW points in the Galactic Civil War, but because your guild needs it. It's like it's a feel bad. It's like what could we do if we all worked together? Like today at Restus, if we were all in one voice chat. And I know they have one, and Obi will tell us, hey, we have the PvP voice chat. Why aren't we in there? Well, because,
Because so are the enemy.
Well, it's some of it's that, but I think some of it too. It's like we enjoy playing with each other, So
Yeah.
Well, and that it goes back to what I was saying when we went to the Flashpoint. Like, I'd much prefer to do smaller scale stuff if it was like a group of 8 of us, and then a group of 8 rebels. Yeah, and that's why battlefields work, right? Because it's kind of controlled. Yeah. But then again, you've got people that just do battlefields. So those guys who are always pushing for those during the Thursday PvP,
right,
they kind of know what they're doing.
Exactly.
No
and then there's a part of me like, capture the flag would be kind of cool. Like, here, one guild, you have this, go find it. And you have to be, overt to find it. Got to go to an SF
that's one of
base.
the battlefields like that. And I think the last battlefield I did was with Mac 2 years ago, when we were fighting, I forget who was, it was basically Cores. When we had kind of merged in with them, we were on their side for the battle, and it was just the worst battlefield I've been in. They had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, I haven't done a battlefield since I've been back. But we don't have many people that do battlefields, do we? Like, not many guilds do.
No, it requires coordination, right? Like, we'd have to go to a rebel guild and say to them, hey, like, if we want to set it up, we could probably do it. Because that's how we used to do it back on live as well. We'd find a group of either 4 or 8 people on a some other rebel guild to kind of do that and say, hey, let's get together, let's put it together. Even we were always trying to get even professions as well, right? Because we want to kind of make it as fair as possible. But yeah, it's just tough.
There really isn't a lot of incentive designed into the game to
encourage working together.
To participate in the Galactic Civil War. There's not a lot to earn in defeating the rebels other than controlling zones.
Right.
And there's little benefits associated with that, like we're seeing with the shuttle wait times and surcharges and whatnot. They're very minor, and it's so easy for people to just completely ignore any of that, not even look at that menu.
Yeah, I don't use shuttles anymore. Nobody uses shuttle ports anymore. Like, you shuttle to get there with an instant travel vehicle. Like, you land there, but you certainly don't fly out in a shuttle.
It's like, what people want is they want those tokens. They want those Restus coms. They want the tangible items. Other than that, they couldn't care less who owns the zone, who controls the planet. There's just no incentive. It's fun. I enjoy it, but
yeah,
you know, I see why other people just kind of ignore it because it's kind of a forgotten part of the game, just like base busting.
And now they're focusing on space this year, so we probably won't see any update to anything like that until probably next year at the earliest, and with the Senate gone. Has the Emperor dissolved the council permanently?
It would be nice to get a few other Imperial guilds just kind of aware and interested in it.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's kind of inter-faction rivalry. Who's
Yeah,
earning
it's
the
like-
most points? Okay?
Yeah, we
but
kind of-
what about inter-faction? Like who's controlling the most zones or planets?
Like you said, it would be nice if we all did duty missions in different zones.
Yeah. And the bragging rights would be that the zone control the score.
Right.
Are
Like,
you,
how cool would it
forced-
be if at space battles we always were on defense?
Yeah. Or getting control of Kieran once and for all.
Yeah.
But the silly part is, you know, you got folks who have are multi-faction, so they have tunes in both factions, and they don't really care.
Yeah, like Hood. Hood's doing Rebel too, aren't they now?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. There's been I do see more Hood and Rebel than I used to.
That's the first thing I thought when we overtook them on the leaderboard. I figured we'd start seeing, because that used to happen to us way back before, is certain people in Hood with their rebel alts would just come to kill us, nobody else.
Yeah.
Yep, and they leave their own alone.
But now that,
That was
Umbra took
probably the peak of the nonsense that we ever saw.
yeah, that was just peak stupidity.
Were we top of the leaderboard before we folded years ago?
Yeah.
Like, were we ever this?
Yeah, we were pretty constant.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I remember seeing 7 when I joined in with Umbra. I do remember seeing 7 around, but I wasn't sure where we were. And again, nobody in Umbra really explained what the hell we were doing. You know, I've learned more in the past, 3 months playing this game than I did for the 5 years I played it. Longer than that, I think it was out for almost 10 years. No, wait. When did it come out? 2005? It was like 5 years. And then when WoW became the big thing, that's why NG came out.
Yeah, someone made a bad decision with that one.
I don't know about that. I like NGE. The combat upgrade I did like the combat upgrade, but because it was a pain in the ass, and the Jedi system was early on. I liked it, but I could understand why some people would be upset if you can't play a Jedi in a Star Wars game. Like it was all clouded in mystery. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, someone did a documentary on it.
Yeah, I think I saw it on YouTube.
You can find it on YouTube. Yeah. Pretty interesting.
I mean, you had to sit there and you would level up Ranger to be a master, and you'd be like, you hope to see at the end you start faintly glowing with the power of the Force. Woohoo! I'm one of the 3. And you got to find 2 more professions, and you had to master them. Once you mastered them, then if you got all 3, then you got your Force slot.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, you gotta admit though, it was cool back on live when you'd be just sitting around doing something and a system message would pop up and say like, yeah, the Emperor has felt a disturbance in the Force or something. Like you knew somebody just unlocked Jedi. Friggin' awesome.
It was cool. I loved early on. I could understand why it was just so clouded in mystery that it was. I could see why some people were upset. He's over here to the starboard. Well, you're heading toward.
Once this wave is done, guys, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I gotta heat up a bottle for my son.
Yep.
Jack
That was one
Daniels.
of the decisions. Combat upgrade was fine, whatever. Everything else was fine, but what really killed the community, at least on Corbantis, was when they did the patch 10 or whatever. When they added in the village, because that was all people did. Like, you go into Theed or Isley or Coronet, like any of the major cities on any major planet, or mining outpost on Dantooine, you'd find like 20, 30 players there at any given time. When they came out with that village and everybody started doing Jedi, those cities died.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was there doing that, and it was the worst.
Yeah, it's like putting in a highway bypass.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
It
That's
kills
how it
towns.
felt. So, but you know what? Like, I always say that, yeah, CU was actually the combat upgrade was fun. I wish that they had spent more time with it instead of switching over to this. But by the time the game finally got its groove going with the NGE and all this stuff, like basically by the time the game finished, it was really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even I liked Mustafar. I liked the Trials of Obi-Wan. I was like, that was great. But it was shortly after that, it was the server consolidation. So Loca, we ended up on Chile, and
Oh yeah.
I hated the server consolidation.
One thing I didn't get to experience was taking off from the ground and flying into space.
I don't think you could fly into space. You could just do combat over cities.
Yeah, atmospheric flight. I missed that too.
Yeah. I never got to experience it.
It was buggy as hell.
Apparently, it was terrible from what I heard.
It was awful.
Like, it just didn't work. But yeah, because I quit, because 2011 was the last year, right? So I think I stopped playing in either January or February. And then I might have popped in right at the end, but I don't even think I did.
They announced in like March or April that, they weren't going to take money anymore, and anyone who had an account on this date could play until the end. So I basically made sure I had my account set up, and I played a little bit, but the population was gone. It was kind of, you had people like sitting there doing the space combat and just wrecking everything, and yeah. I liked it though. I didn't mind NGE. I really didn't.
Well, I forget if it was part of the atmospheric flight, but I have a screenshot, I think. But I remember coming in closer to the end. I was in Theed, and it was almost like there was a city invasion because there were rebel turrets in that city.
Right.
And I feel like it had something to do with atmospheric flight, but I was so out of the
you
loop.
could shoot down ships from the ground.
That might have been it. Yeah, you're right.
I think you could shoot down ships from the ground.
Yeah. Let me see if I got those still. I lost a lot of screenshots, but
I don't think they'll ever want to do that, though. I don't think that they will ever go back to that. I think somebody asked during the silly new person thing I went to, and they were pretty much like, "Yeah, that's not on our radar."
No, there's some things that should never come back. Yeah, I've got January 11.
Two things I wish they would do is, I wish they would let us arm or change, or at least release the Sora sub to be purchased and modified, like the yacht, so that you can make it like the Lady Luck. I think that'd be great. But the other thing would be, let us fire weapons on speeders. Like, let my AT-ST shoot things. You can already do it in Hoth.
Yeah, my last screenshot's from January 2011, so I forget. I remember seeing the turrets and stuff, though. But yeah, that might have been that was really when I played last. So
yeah, I was there. I was online the day they shut it down, and I remember the orange thing came up. You've been disconnected. I know one guy didn't get disconnected for days. I remember that. People were talking about it. He's still in there, and then they shut him down. But yeah, it was a bit bittersweet, and I thought I was like, this game will never come around again, And then 2019 when I was like, wait, they have it out there? Oh, sweet. I actually discovered it before that. Yeah. Huh?
Well, because what got me onto the game again was Mandalorian Season 1. I was watching and I'm like, man, it'd be so fun to play Star Wars Galaxies again. And I had worked a little bit on the emulator project, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll go see that. But I Googled something about it and I said, oh, what's the most populated server? And there was a little video that I found and it said, oh, you got to check out Star Wars Galaxies Legends. That's like the most popular, and it's kind of NGE with all the features from Live. And that's how I found it. If it wasn't for like that exact set of circumstances, I don't think I would have found this.
I found SWG EMU, and I was like, this is too. I mean, I had my I found my discs. I got everything set up, and then I was like, this is just so much like work just to even. And then you get in there, and it's like, I'm like, this is kind of okay, but. And then I heard about Legends and that it was NGE, and I was like, well, I'll give that a shot. And then I hung around for about 4 or 5 months through COVID, and then I was like, Umbra was late. It was boring. I would log in and I'd run around and get involved in a few things, try to get in a few instances or something, and then, just be like, all right, bye. What I like about this guild is that at least we're kind of cool.
Hey guys, is there any privet to your pilot who wants to sell me a flying while I give this kid a bottle?
I can. GL is privateer. I can probably get him in.
I'm gonna fly to my target location, and then once the waves start coming, you can fly. The only thing you can't do is see my waypoint. So
you're gonna have to make him a. Oh wait, do I have to be a Vigo? This is a Vigo, isn't it?
Yes, privateer.
Yeah, I'm not a. I'm a smuggler. Yeah, I'm not a certified to enter that station or not in the same group.
If not, it's not a big deal. I might be able to manage.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, man. So what are you thinking we might try to do?
It's either duty or, well, we might want to try a, I guess a high tier is a duty. But, or there's beacons. I don't know. We'll see. I think Opie and I are going to talk about it. Okay, I've lowered my speed. I'm matching the speed of these guys -1 click. So hopefully that's a little better for you guys to line up those blind wings.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Maybe I'll make a Senate proposal. That'll be outrageous, and it's gonna flame the trolls. It'll be fantastic. Like, do away with the leaderboard. Just have factional leaders and personal leaders. That's it. Did the rebels win or the Imperials? Make us work together. They're gonna call me names. It'll be great.
Gonna have to change your title to Old Man Pot Stirrer.
It's so funny to me. The Senate office is just such toxicity. It's not even funny. That's a horrible idea. That's the worst thing you've ever thought of. What are you, insane?
Yeah, it sounds like most politicians.
Yeah. Well, that looks like somebody's doing a convoy. Oh no, I guess not.
Why would they put my target location right through this big thing?
Isn't that the rebel base?
I think it might be.
Like, if we shoot it, is it going to bring rebels out to kill us?
No, that's already got tier 1 spawning around it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you can target it and take out the primary and secondary
systems,
shield generators.
But that's not like in deep space where you can kill it, right? Can't you kill the one in deep space?
Yeah, you can kill the one in deep space.
Let's do that. Let's just go kill the rebels. No. I'm sure that won't end badly for us at all. We're in a gunboat. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh no, I've done it solo in a gunboat.
We all die sucking vacuum? No. Yeah.
Well, there's also the Dantooine space people who battle right at that time.
Yeah, we could do that. I do like that.
Try that again without.
I'd like to do it with the POB again. I'll bring the Devi this time.
Yeah.
Come on, bud. Mommy, take you.
Aw, it's Mrs. Mac. The Mac mommy. Oh, she could hear us? Oh, that's great.
What? This is Mac. Okay.
Well, he's Mac Daddy, so you're Mac Mommy. That's how we roll. And we're muted. He's like, listen, do not feed that guy. He's a streamer. Don't feed him. He's never gonna let it go. Didn't I warn you about him? Yes, you did. I'm sorry, dear.
I don't know what this.
Where's that
alien is
screwdriver?
doing.
Where's the screwdriver? No.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a good pilot. I felt bad killing him. I would have liked to keep him alive for a while.
Nope, it was flying an A-wing. That's an automatic death mark there.
Yeah, no kidding. We have a new follower. Kieran, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the
Welcome in.
stream. With a name like Kieran, he's either European of some sort or he has very pretentious parents. I'm kidding. Welcome to the stream.
How do you spell the name?
Kieran. Kieran565.
If it was Kerem, Kerem, I would know who that was.
Well, that would be like a targeting thing, right? Karam is like, 265
someone got in a
Karam
lucky
150. I seem to remember that from like Battlestar Galactica or something. Which I could stand to rewatch that again.
The original or the remake?
I like the remake better, but I did just rewatch the remake. I could stand to watch the original again. The original had here's the thing. The original had a lot of great ideas that they were trying to do. And what happened was Star Wars. And ABC, when Glenn Larson sold it to ABC, he's like, look, I'll put out, we'll put out TV movies, like 4 times a year. It'll be event television. It'll be great. So he did that. He wanted to do that. And then all of a sudden, like ABC's like, they are like, no, we want a full series, which is why some of the episodes are fantastic. Like the first one and the Gun on Ice Planet Zero and the one with Kane and all. Those were all planned to be movies. That's why they were all multi-parters. And then you have the shitty ones where they find a planet of humans, just after all the humans have been killed and leave them there while the Cylons are chasing them. Like they took like old Star Trek, plot devices and put those in. Like they'd have a planet of the week and they'd find humans there, which I was always like, I want to watch the episode where they leave, the humans are there, they leave the humans there, and about a half hour later a Cylon base star shows up and blows them all to hell.
Well, what about the episode where they find a lost colony and it's full of...
they found Terra. Yeah, they found Terra. That was interesting because they wanted that to be Earth. I get what they were doing with that.
Well,
but yeah.
No. I'm talking about the lost colony where they had they'd been brewing ambrosia for 600 years.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. There were these Planet of the Week episodes early on in that show that were just absolute dog shit. Like Apollo shows up on he crash lands on a planet and the planet is a Western planet and there's a Cylon who's a gunslinger. I'm like, okay, this is horse shit. Yeah. And then at the end of it, he's like, take care, and he loved the woman and stuff, and then he leaves, and I'm like, okay, I want to see the base star that's chasing them show up and blow that planet to hell. Like, I think that would have made it all right. Like, if they were like, oh, by the way, we've been destroying every colony we've come across. On Ronald D. Moore's show, if that happened, that's what it would have happened. They would have been like, okay, we're going to leave you guys here. Have fun. And then a Cylon base star shows up and nukes the place.
Yep.
That show was dark, but it was so well written. I just remember watching the end of season 1 and what they did at the end of that, and I'm like, I did not see that coming. I was like, wow. And I'm somebody who likes to write, so, it's hard sometimes to fool me. I didn't see that coming. You know, without spoiler alert. I mean, when she, he puts his hand out, well done. She raises the gun, and I'm like, holy, no way! I was like, that you don't see that every day.
Nope.
As opposed to Game of Thrones, where I had a friend who's like, I can't believe they killed him at the end. I'm like, you know what? Neither can I. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, I thought you read the books. I'm like, oh no, he dies in the books. I didn't think they'd kill him though, because it's a TV show. I was like, well done, Game of Thrones. But so much of what happens on Game of Thrones is because they killed him. I mean, you kind of have to.
Wrong way. There we go. Actually, they'll be coming up behind now, won't they?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was rebalancing the shields.
No problem. I remember working at Best Buy, and it was season 3, and the Red Wedding had happened, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh man, that was so cool last night. I'm like, I'm not talking about it because I don't want to ruin anything. They're like, oh, you knew it was coming? I'm like, yeah, I read all the books. I'm like, you got to read the books. The books are infinitely better than the show. And this 20-something hipster, so I was almost 40. 20-something hipster comes. She's like, listen, I don't want to read the books because I don't want to spoil the show. I was just, my heart broke a little. I was like, are you kidding? Wait, what?
Well,
you're doing it wrong.
I'm kind of with them in certain regards. Yes, the books do have a lot more information, but I don't have the patience for books. My mind wanders too much, so I get through
and in
one
those books it
paragraph
will.
And my mind is...
I will tell you this: in those books, your mind will wander. I mean, George R. Martin lives
and that's
in
the problem because
he's in verbal diarrhea land, man. He masturbates. He verbally masturbates over every page. He goes way. When he was sitting there and going into details about, I think, something about the zits on one of the barbarians, and he's like, and I get it, you're painting a picture, but damn, dude, do you have to go that deep? But I also know Victor Hugo was the same way. Yeah. Well, Victor Hugo was the same way. If you've ever read Les Miserables, like, there are two versions of it. There is the unabridged and the abridged. And the reason there's an abridged version is, like, Les Miserables, the original Hugo novel, was very similar to Game of Thrones in that it went all over the place. And went so far out of the realm of the story. I read both versions, and I got to be honest, I appreciated the abridged version of Les Miserables better. Like, I was like, okay, I like the unabridged.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I do love reading, and I highly recommend reading the Game of Thrones books if you haven't. They're worthwhile,
Oh,
and you can
I'm sure they are.
And you could skip pages and stuff. If it looked like a chapter wasn't going to really move the story along, I would be like, okay, Tyrion's here. He's doing this with the mountain people. Oh, good, he's talking to Tywin.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Tyrion's doing the mountain people again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the books were so much better.
As I said, I just don't have I don't have the patience for books, and two, my mind wanders too easily. So I get through one paragraph and my brain's already gone off on 6 tangents. I just end up reading the same paragraph 6 times, and then I just close the book.
I was my mom was sick. My dad, like, he would go to the hospital every day when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. For she 4 months from diagnosis till her passing. He went to the hospital every day she was there. He'd leave the house at 6 a.m. like he was going to work, and he wouldn't get back till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. 7 days a week, even Sundays. So he comes back early on a Sunday, though, because he was getting wiped. And he's like, all right. And, he's like sitting down to watch Game of Thrones, and I'm in the back bedroom because I usually watched it. I would watch it on TiVo or whatever. I didn't watch it necessarily live. Because, again, I had read the books, and I didn't realize how far they were. Because, when my mom was dying, so I wasn't really into TV anyway. And Dad's sitting there, and he's like, I'm going to give up on this show. I'm like, what do you mean, Dad? What's going on? He's like, well, now they're having this stupid wedding for, like, 2 characters I don't even like. Like, what do I care about this guy with the bridge and what's-her-face's brother? And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait. They're having a wedding? He's like, yeah, they're having a wedding. I was like, oh, no. Pause that. I'm going to come out and watch this with you. So I got to experience, like, the red wedding with him. Like, in this very, very... It was this moment that kind of tied us together. He was like, I did not see that coming. I'm like, I know. He's like, did you know that was going to happen? I was like, I didn't know they were going to kill his wife. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, in the book, she kind of just went off by herself. And you kind of never heard from her again. Like, she had the kid and all that, but, you know, blah, blah. He's like, wow. So, like, the fact that I knew the books let me have this kind of cool moment with my dad, you know, during this really dark time. So... And, you know, it was a dark time, so we lightened it by watching a bunch of people get killed needlessly and horribly.
Yeah.
And then I had to explain Lady Stoneheart to him. I'm like, well, we might see... He took great joy in telling me, you know, when I was like, no, we'll see her again. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, no, we'll see Catelyn again, don't you worry. And they never brought Lady Stoneheart to the show. I was like, oh, okay then. I'm like, well, in the books, here's the thing. You know, the Knights Who Don't Die, well, she got that. And then she's walking around with, like, half a head. And, you know, I was kind of wondering how they were going to do that technically. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people walking around out there with only half a brain, so...
I hope R.R. Martin can finish. I don't think he's ever going to be able to finish all the books. I just don't. And I'm sure he's going to change the ending now that people had the reaction they did. He kind of got a little lucky. You know, he could find... I'm sure he told them that he thought Bran was going to end up on the Iron Throne. Oh, spoiler alert. You know, I don't think he will now. But, yeah. I'd like to see him finish the books. I'd like to see him release, you know, the next one. It's been, I don't know, 18 years? Like, I read these in college a lot, you know. Like, the first 2 or 3 I read in college. Between Star Wars books. God, do I miss that. I actually started listening to the old Star Wars Legends book on Audible. Like, I'm re-listening to Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Which
so
is
much.
where it looks like they're gonna go with the TV shows.
And they should. I got to tell you, I wish to God they had done that with the movies. I really do, because I think that whole thing was infinitely better.
Sorry, I wasn't keeping an eye on the shields. That's my bad. Sorry, Mac.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're using too much of our cap, and we're not hitting them as often as we should. So I think we're trying to hit them when they're not in range.
Right.
How many active gunners do we have? 2 or 3? I can't tell.
I'm a gunner.
Yeah, I'm also an off gunner.
Okay.
That's why I'm only trying to fire when I've got a target, but trying to figure out where the targets are half the time.
And for me, I'm firing when there's a target and it's red lighted and all that, but yet it seems like I'm not hitting it. Like, it's almost like it's off.
When you're doing that, are you actually targeting with X? What's in front of you? So you
Well,
can see
I'm tabbing. I'm tabbing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll X, yeah. I'll tab for the closest thing, and then X if there's something in front of me that's better. Is it just me and Ixie up here?
It just
I
might
think so.
be firing now, yeah.
Okay.
Should have just come
Well,
up
is
in
this
my
the
lander.
last? This is our last, probably one of our last rounds, isn't it? I think
Yeah, we're
we
getting
fought
close to the end.
3. Yeah. I think we fought 3 gunboats.
Oh, I forgot. Well, actually, this is just 4th boss coming up now, so...
Well, dude, if you got to go,
Full-
I understand
full
completely. Yeah. I wonder if they'll introduce Mara. I mean, she doesn't have to end up with Luke, but...
Too many of them.
That's a rebel
chatter.
excuse.
Good point. Rebel excuse.
I definitely would like to see them. I think I do. I want them to bring Mara back. I like Mara Jade.
Yeah, but who's going to play her?
Heather Graham.
Who's going to play them?
Mara Jade. They'll find a British actress. Saffron Burrows would have been perfect back in the day, but because she kind of looked like Mara Jade. Because you got to find a redhead natural, and I think you got to stick with a natural. Ooh, Sansa. They'll get Sansa. I'd like to see Maisie Williams as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, because she was a
could get
badass in
behind
Game
that
of
one.
Thrones. Yeah.
Well, did you see her in New Mutants?
I didn't watch New Mutants because I had better things to do than waste another hour and a half of my life. I lived through Jaws 4.
Okay.
I looked at it and I just was like, this is not. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And every review I read said the same thing. And I'm not a horror guy, and I like the New Mutants. Like, I liked them better when they were,
New?
well, when they were the auxiliary for the X-Men, when they were like the youth auxiliary of the X-Men. I loved that time, And they were always doing weird, crazy shit back then. Don't get me wrong. It had 1 foot in horror, 1 foot, 1 foot in supernatural, 1 foot out. But, I always liked Sam and Roberto, and, I love the fact that Berto's on X-Men 97. Like, so I had a tough time with that because it seemed like they were going to steer into the Ileana thing a lot. By the way, if you haven't watched X-Men 97 yet, you absolutely should. Episode 5 was new.
Oh, it looks like we might actually have 3 gunners on top.
Yeah.
Do we need one below? Do you need me to go below? Oh, he's just going to keep him on the top.
No. All
No,
up.
he'll just rotate.
We're steering it so that we have all of the ships most of the time on the top for you guys on the top.
Appreciate it. Alright.
X has been really helpful in advising on how to do these duties.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to fly the POBs and the gunboats and do it effectively. Because I fly it like you used to, like as a fighter.
No, it's like driving an elephant. You've got to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they're actually more maneuverable at slower speeds, and they have oversteer.
I do like the AV4 or the YE4. That's a damn good ship.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all of the Imperial POBs are faster than the other ones.
Yeah, that's why I moved away from the YT2400. I went back to the Desi. I was like, I like the look of the 2400, but I was like, and then I think you were the one who told me the hitbox is bigger. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do that.
Yeah, the hitbox is like 10 meters wider.
Yeah. No thanks. I'll go back to the Desi.
Yeah, the Desi's profile is a bit smaller, whereas it's taller, but it's still a smaller hitbox.
And it's a little more maneuverable. Like, I've been flying it, and it seems a little bit more. We got one above us. Oh, there he is. Got
it. Not anymore, we don't.
Yeah, right.
I better punch that. Okay, Chewie, punch it. Ah!
So you think you liked New Mutants?
Yeah, it was.
You're the only positive review I've ever heard for that, so this is cool.
Look, I go into these things without expectations. I haven't read the comics,
so see, that's my problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, if you've read the comics, you've kind of you kind of already know where they're going to go, and even if and the other thing is, if you've read the comics, when they stuff up, you know it.
Yeah.
So
I
you're
wish.
like, no,
well,
they should never
that's the
have
thing
done
about X-Men '97. I did not know they were going to do what they did yesterday. No idea. And now I read. I mean, I've known almost everything they're going. Every time they start something, I'm like, oh, they're doing Inferno now. Okay. Oh, they're doing, the Trial of Magneto from X-Men 200. Okay. Oh, they're doing this. Okay. No problem. And then yesterday, I just thought it was going to be the standard destruction of Genosha from when Grant Morrison took over. And nope, that is not what they did. They did it, but they threw an extra on there, and I was here for it. I'm like, you know what? I like that. It's not a kids cartoon show anymore, so you can get away with it, even though the first episode they did something similar. I was all right about that, man. I highly recommend, if you haven't watched X-Men '97, watch it. If you like the old X-Men cartoon. But yeah, I'm loving that stuff. And that's just it. I have a problem with them constantly trying to redo Dark Phoenix. Okay, you've had 2 shots at it in movies now. Stop. Okay, you can't do it right. That was a perfect story that you can still read today, and it impacts you. It was incredibly well done. Claremont and Byrne knew what they were doing. And yeah, every time they try to put it in the movies, it turns out to crap.
Yeah, because they had Phoenix come up in X-Men 2 or 3. I think it was 3.
X-Men 2, when she died. They killed her, which I was
right.
like, okay. Which she quote unquote died in water before. When Phoenix came up in the comics, it was in Jamaica Bay near the airport in New York. And there's this big image of her, you've probably seen it, where she flies out of the water. I'm like, okay, if you're going to do that in the 3rd movie, I'm here for it. They did not do that.
No.
Yeah. They just blew it.
And then they tried, and then they did the
3 years ago, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
It really was.
As far as
yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, they didn't even do the bad guy properly.
They didn't. They had Chastain there acting as one of the Dabari. And it honestly, the issue I had with, I think really if you were going to do the X-Men and you're going to do the Phoenix story, here's what you do. You have her be Phoenix far earlier. You have her be Phoenix for a while. And then slowly churn her bad. To where she starts, oh my gosh, getting drunk with power. Then you buy it. I don't think you could tell that story in 2 hours. The key to the Dark Phoenix saga was that Jean Grey started going bad, Well, she went bad pretty quick in the comics, but she was always overpowered and, she could be cosmic and she kind of was teetering on the edge. You have to do that if you're doing Dark Phoenix. And I think in a movie, they just want to tell the story in 2 hours. So, oh, look, she's got her full powers. And, oh, look, now here she is. She's bad. She's Dark Phoenix. Yay. Yeah. And, well, plus they shy away from the fact that, the biggest part of Dark Phoenix was she destroyed a planet. In the comics, one of the things that happened was she flew away from Earth, ran to the Dabari system, and ate the sun. There were 7 billion people on Dabari or some weird number. She just basically destroyed an entire solar system.
That's a spicy meatball.
If you haven't read it, go find it, read it. It's really good. They did really well with it. But they had Phoenix in play for 2 years. Jean Grey was Phoenix for 2 whole years before Dark Phoenix. It was a cool time, man. I was kind of glad to be, a comic reader back then.
Come on, punch shields. There we go. Gotta let the cap recharge as well.
I know. I'm trying to shoot those guys in the back.
I'm sorting loot box right now.
Okay.
Not the loot box.
Forget your loot box.
Not your loot crate. Are you going to charge us monthly to get something out of there?
Yeah, well, if he turns out to be like Cash Noons, we're only getting junk.
Yeah.
That's mostly what we get.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're doing reverse engineering level 7 for weapons, Cash Noons is actually a fucking gold mine. At least every 5th weapon 7 that he dropped had either a D or C tier stat, or a dual stat. When I was using tokens for W7s.
Huh. I
Yeah.
haven't done much with 7s.
Sorry?
I haven't done much with 7s yet.
Yeah, the only reason I was doing 7s was because I was doing a Chapat build for a prototype TIE Defender.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've got a prototype TIE Defender with 5k front back shields.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but because of that, I had to drop the weight of the weapons, and the only way to do that was to roll them down to a W7. But I think I got them doing like 32, 33, 3,300 damage. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I got to start doing PvP space more, because I think that's the only way you're going to learn how to do it better. You just got to die a lot. And I think my Defender's the best thing for it, but ugh. You can't go wrong with the XG5 is doing fantastic for PvE. Like it's solid. That thing's perfect.
I find it's got a little bit of a slide for turning though.
It does, but I just work with it. You know,
oh yeah.
But I like having 24 missiles. Like, okay, so I'm running with 3/8, but I have 24 missiles. That countermands the fact that I'm not rolling 10s. And I find myself not losing as many kills if I'm not being so stingy with the missiles. So, because that's the main problem with the PvE kills is like there's this one, I don't even know who he is, but man, it's almost like he looks for me and flies behind me, and it's like. Now, why do we group up, Mac? What benefit is there for us grouping up during a PvE space battle? Is it just so we see each other's targets?
Primarily, I do it so a couple of reasons. One, I like to see when you guys are shooting at something, so I be sure not to accidentally take it from you.
Right.
Just for courtesy. Another is if I see one of you guys is in trouble getting chased by a bunch of mobs, then I can help you out, or vice versa, so we can help each other. And then just seeing, I don't know, just for visibility.
Yeah, because I thought we were getting GCW that way, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But we don't, but it's all like... Because one time I was there by myself, and I tried to, group up with some of the Sturmies, and they're like, nah, we don't really group unless we're in the same ship, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, don't be a dick. If
we want to coordinate and talk and not spam up guild chat too, it helps with that, especially at the sweatier ones.
Well, I can't fly and type. I don't know how people do that. I'm amazed when you can. I'm like, I cannot. You got to alt, then you got to take your arrow down there, and you got to put it in the window, and then you got to start typing, and then you're in the wrong channel, so you got to change the channel. And
you just hit enter, and it opens the chat bar.
Yeah, I know, but usually it's in the wrong channel or whatever. But yeah.
Or I like to say like a /group and then start typing. Or guild.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just can't do it that fast. I'm like, I'm trying to get kills here. I'll do it when I'm at the, if I get killed or if I pod. But I'm finding myself not dying as much in those battles anymore. I tend to pod myself. Except those Y-Wings, they hit fracking hard, dude.
Oh yeah, those Y-Wings are bullshit.
Honestly, I sit there and go, these are tier 7s,
What the hell
and
is
they're...
going on back here?
Yeah, there's a YT that's not getting killed, and the YTs did the most damage. We want to prioritize those.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
we were,
we're
but
trying.
it was in the middle of like 90.
Yep. I
Shunting.
think there's still... yeah. There's still 2 of them out there. And I can't get a hit on it. God damn it.
Because you're not good. It's alright. We love you anyway, man. You don't have to be great. There's 3 of them out there, by the way.
Can we boost away from them? You've just lost some front armor and we've got no shields.
And we have a A-Wing behind us.
There's a few of them back there. Come on,
There's like 3 of them back there, yeah. I'm shunting.
And B-Wings are firing all the missiles as well. Yeah, there's 3 of them. There we go, we got 1 of the damn Y-Wings. YTs.
2 of the YTs are down. 1 left.
There we go.
All YTs are gone.
We've cleaned space, so
Do we want to let that
hiding
one
from
live for a
Whiteys.
bit? Do we want? Are we at the end of this? Do we want to let
yeah.
that one live? Trying to
Already
think. Do
killed
we
it.
let? Okay. Oh, good.
Oh shit! No, it wasn't the end. Was it?
No, I'm
Oh,
It
shit.
wasn't. Punch through.
I'm
Just punch
hitting the
through
YTs, man. I'm aiming the Ys.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna let them chase us while we wait for our cap and shield to get higher.
But it seems like I push F4 to shunt, and like it kills our cap, but doesn't do shit to our shields.
Well, it's
Yeah, that's
because we
'cause
have a
they're large
large
shield.
shield and we had a low cap in our capacitor energy in the cap.
You got
Yeah, it's like
12,000.
it's what? Yeah, to disperse over what?
Oh, okay.
80,000 shields, 86,000 shields. It only punches a little bit forward and back,
Yeah.
and we're only using 3/4 of the cap, so that we've still got some energy to fire.
I got 6 viewers and nobody's saying anything. Say hello, people. Let us know you're there. You'll show up on the screen. It'll be fantastic.
Hello, there you go.
Oh, well, all right. We're shooting. Oh, one of them's here.
Already?
Well, now it just.
Oh,
Well, now it just feels wrong. You shouldn't be text. That's it. I'm gonna buy viewers. That's what I'm gonna do. No. I have noticed though that dude. I think I called him out because he's not like sitting as high as he was. Like his view counts are not as high as they were. I'm like, uh huh.
oh god.
Oh,
Alright,
so many
that's
B
all the
wings.
missiles.
All of the B wings.
Yep, and they're all firing missiles. Oh, and the Y-wings. Yeah, that's how you know you're on the last set of of ships before the final gunboat, because they're
Right.
all B-wings and Y-wings.
Hit it. Hit the thing. The dot is over the dot. Damn it.
Yeah, but we're on a slight curve,
I
and
know.
they're on a slight curve, and the targeting.
And it's a
computer
B-wing,
doesn't
and their
extrapolate.
hitbox is notoriously. scrawny.
Dodgy. Yeah.
All right, Rebel Captain, this is it. Last boss.
We got up to it. Holy crap. Oh.
Do we need to shield up? I'm gonna shunt. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Did you just tell us to shunt the fuck up?
They're ready to shoot right now. They're out of range.
I'm shooting
Yeah,
at
we're
fighters
taking
that
out
weren't.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of Y-wings that were in perfect range. No, it's out now. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, if you're turning... Wait. Where's... Oh, wait, that one's in range. Come on, hit. There we go. There's the next one. Oh, God, right there.
Yeah, we got him.
Come on.
Now let's just clean up the little guys. I'm just going to shoot into that
Little
big
guy?
conglomeration of ships and hit up many of them. I wasn't aiming at one.
Oh my!
I'm starving. I'm gonna get off this and go
How
eat
did we
dinner.
get Oh, we got a level 1. Oh. So the good thing is, if they fire a missile, if they fire a missile and you take them out just after they've fired the missile, then the missile goes dumb, and although it hits you and detonates, it doesn't do any damage.
Where the hell is that?
Found that a few
it's up
times
there,
with
okay.
Yeah, there.
Down to our last. Yay!
Hold
We
on.
did it! Woohoo!
Huzzah!
We did it! And then I lean over and hug the Wookiee. Well, this was a lot of fun, though. Ah, we're dying! Oh no, we're sucking vacuum.
You idiot! You blew it up!
You murderer!
I like how Stowe's got his tunes off in the corner.
Why, where are they?
They're up on the bridge, up in this little alcove.
Yeah.
Let me check the loot box one more time before we go.
Store tech.
Loot box.
Oh, Dorito. I thought he was saying Doritos.
So did I, actually. Which I could go for some Doritos right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh. I like getting the Mexicana Doritos and making a nacho bean mix. Like a meat and bean mix, and then put that over the top, melted cheese, a bit of salsa. Oh, yum, yum.
That just all sounds horrible.
That sounds really good, actually. Doesn't help that I'm hungry right now. Speaking of which,
Right.
I'm gonna go land.
Space stuff was a sandcrawler.
You had your sandcrawler outside Fort 7. Where did you move it to?
I moved it outside of NCC, and because I tend to land here, so I was like, oh, because it's also where my homing beacon is. So I just started hanging out here, but I mean my main star. Plus, I didn't want to overwhelm you with all the. I know how you feel about your city looking good.
I kind of appreciate that it's not outside the limits anymore.
You're
but
welcome.
I turned your musty bunker got put outside. So you did this before it was rank 5. You put it outside the city limits. Now it's in the city limits.
Right.
And I just ended up rolling with it. I put a road out there, and someone else has his bunker up there too. So
Yeah, exactly.
out.
But if you had wanted me to move it, I would have moved it. You know, if you'd have been like, hey, this needs to be outside the city.
I'm just have to call that like Old Man Avenue or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Senior citizen musty smells or something. There's a musty smell joke in there somewhere. All right, but guys watching the stream, thanks for hanging. I'm going to close it up for now. It's been about an hour and a half, which is a little slower, but tomorrow night's Friday Night Flight.